before you start.
Yes.
Time to go lunch? This meeting is being held in conformance to the Sunshine Law. Notice of time, date, and place has been furnished to the Bergen Record and the Ridgewood News. Notice has also been posted on the bulletin board of the Administration Building. Would the clerk please take the roll?
Mayor Giordano.
I am here.
Mr. Brennick.
Here.
Ms. Saracola Drake. Here. Mr. Marnello.
Here.
Mr. Raimondo.
Here.
Mr. Ritchie.
Here.
Mrs. Weber. Here.
Everyone kindly rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us have a moment of silence for all our Waldwick veterans, all veterans across the country who have given the ultimate sacrifice so that we could assemble the way we are and live in a country that is free. Let us also have a moment of silence for all those whose lives were lost in Texas, that their families find comfort in knowing that there are people all around the world that are praying for them and praying for still the people that they're still looking to find. The clerk, do the prayer.
We thank you for everyone gathered here now. Thank you that you know each of us by name and have caused us to walk with you. We say that we are dependent on you and our trust is in you completely. As we surrender ourselves in adoration, we ask that you would come by your Holy Spirit and inspire our hearts today. Come fill our lives with your love, fill our conversations with your grace and truth, fill this meeting with your presence. We ask this for your glory and praise. Amen.
Amen. Just a couple of comments before we open it up for a speaker. First of all, I'd like to ask everyone to keep in their prayers a member of our community he came to a lot of our meetings, who always sat in the back of the room, Eric Laporta, who passed away this afternoon. Pray for him and his family. Also, pray for the McLeod family who had their memorial service for their son over the weekend. There were over 100 people that showed up at Borough Park, and it was a nice tribute that the family had for their son who passed away he would have been, I think, 20 years old 2 days ago. And now we have a guest star with us tonight. Lieutenant Seaford will be talking to us about safety. If you'd like to come up, but then we'll ask you questions.
Thank you, sir. Guest speakers.
And thank you very much for coming here.
Thank
And
you for the star
thank you
comments.
for your appearance. You look very professional.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know where your hat is, but that's okay.
It's in the car. Thank you for that. Thank you very much, council members. Good evening. So I just wanted to get in front of the mayor and council tonight to kind of announce our new traffic pattern plan that we have starting in September on Summit Ave, right in front of Traphagen School. We have been researching pretty hard something to do in this area. It is heavily congested, especially in the afternoon. Cars back up on Ridge. It is extremely dangerous for our crossing guard. At any one time, there's kind of 3 different angles of traffic coming at him in the intersection at Ridge and Summit. So, in working with Mr. Neal, and we had some traffic engineers from Boswell helping us out with this, we developed this idea to change Summit Ave to a one-way heading east from Nordham to Ridge. Nordham to Ridge only. The hours of operation of this one-way are going to be between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m., only during school in session. So that's Monday through Friday. Even on half days, it'll be till 4 o'clock. We couldn't really accommodate that. It's just easier for us to lay it out. This went to ordinance a couple meetings ago. Thank you for passing that. It is something that we feel is going to be beneficial. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Traphagen School restricts access into the parking lot, which we still want our parents to access. They restrict access into the parking lot at a certain time. I don't think you can get into the parking lot until maybe 2:20, 2:25, something along those lines. People are extremely early in picking their children up. So they tend to block and line up on Ridge, where over the last couple of school years, we've seen that traffic hit Manhattan Ave and even Waldwick Ave a lot of times. It's very, very dangerous. Cars have to pass the other side of them. Now we got 2 lanes coming at each other. They want to make a left. Now we got cars parked on both sides. It's just, it's kind of been a nightmare for us. It's a nightmare to police. It's not very safe. We feel that having the cars come down one way allows those people on Ridge to come off Ridge and get to Summit. If everybody's coming down the east side heading east on Summit, they can park on both sides of the road. And if they want to wait to get into the lot, it's easier to do it there, and we can congest that area rather than Ridge and the intersection. We feel that'd be a lot safer for the kids. It is something that we're trying. We're confident it's going to work. We are not getting rid of the loading unloading zone that's in front of Traphagen. If you're all familiar with it, there is a yellow curb there. We are going to keep that. It should be for a quick pickup. There are a couple buses that get kids in the afternoon, so we want to make sure that they still have access. But the main reason I'm here is that, in speaking to Mr. Neal, we want to have a meeting with the residents of Summit so I can explain it. If they have any questions, they can ask me in person. We have some drawings that we can show them. If they're, parked facing west, we're going to ask them to turn around when they're exiting. We don't think it's going to be that much of an issue, and we think the rewards here outweigh the possible inconvenience for the Summit residents. So we've been looking at traffic pretty hard in Waldock the last couple months, especially. This is probably one of the first phases that we have as far as some traffic plans to put in play.
Does the Board of Ed know what you're doing?
We've spoken to Mr. Cilio about this. He controls inside the parking lot. We control outside. So he is aware of what we're doing, but the outside we feel is our issue to tackle.
Are they going to send maybe a letter out to the parents when they send the letters out to welcome them back to school, and what the students' schedule's like?
Great question, sir. I'm going to ask the chief of police to draft something to send to the principal so that we can get that out on the first day of school. We are not going to, we have our signs already made. Our crossing guard is aware of our plan. Our crossing guard out there is an outstanding individual. He's going to be bringing a barricade out every day. It's going to have a sign on it. He's pretty excited. We kind of went over this with him as well, and he was on board for it. So
Do we have police present staff for just the first couple of days?
absolutely, that's the plan.
Anybody else?
Sir.
I know it's a concern for people that live on Ridgewold and Highwood. They barrel down that street. And I hate to say it, it's the local moms, not the people that live close. Is that going to be monitored? I know Cilio usually sends out a letter saying they're not supposed to, but it seems to be a challenge.
Yeah, he sends a letter there. They don't want them picked up there because they don't want the kids walking through the back. I understand it does happen. All things, we monitor everything. So
Okay.
yeah, if we're directed, we'll be there. So
Okay.
we just think this is we think it's going to alleviate that intersection because that's really the concern. And now people can still exit the parking lot normal. They can head to, they can make the right out of the parking lot, but when they get to Ridge, they're going to have to make the left. So they won't be able to travel up the hill. The problem we were getting there is that cars parked on both sides. Somebody's coming east, somebody's coming west. There's not enough room. Doesn't work. So.
The homes on the westbound side, if you're going up Summit, if they're parked out in the street, you're going to tell them by 7 they should kind of turn around or get in their driveways?
I'm going to ask nicely. If I'm
So
also
they're
going
like
to, I'm also
U-turn.
going to ask them nicely if they're leaving in the morning and at 7:45, I'm going to ask them to kindly turn around. We don't want people coming out the other way. We have our signs already made. They're in. And speaking to the DPW superintendent, they're going to try to post them maybe next week or the week after. We'll cover them because we're not ready to go until the school year. But they do say 7 to 4 during school hours, during school and session. So.
Anyone else? Well, thank you very much. Hopefully it's going to work, which I think it will.
I think it will.
Well, as long as you think it will, it'll be all right.
It's a good plan. It'll work. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Lieutenant.
Okay, continuing our reports, just one more thing on my report. On July 17th is going to be the 11th anniversary of the death of police officer Christopher Goodell. So if you could, in your daily day, keep him and his family in your prayers that day. He died in the line of duty, saving and protecting us. That's all I have to report. Financial Administrative Committee, Mr. Ritchie.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, everybody. I hope you're doing well. So just a quick couple things on my committee report. So we are finalizing the audit for 2024, so we should get that back soon. I think I'm sorry, for 2024. I think the biggest piece of information we're all waiting for is how much money did we put back into surplus, or roughly how much, am I feeding back?
No, it's there.
Okay. Is that better?
No, it's there, not you.
Okay.
It's this.
It seems better, okay, good. Yeah, so I think the biggest question that we have on our mind is how much money did we take from surplus in that year? How much did we put back? If you remember, in leading up to about 2023, we would put back more than we took to balance our budget. So last year was the first year that we took more out. So we're I think, very eager to see what that looks like. And we should have that, I think, by the next meeting for council to review, and then we can probably have a larger conversation about that. The Finance Committee met in June, a couple weeks ago. We really are focused on, a couple things, right? And it harkens back to what I just said about the surplus. How can we close that gap of, right now we're using about $2.5 million to balance the budget, and if we're putting less back, then we have a real deficit, and we're just trying to close that gap as much as we can. I think the three areas that I've been focused on, and I think some of us have been focused on, is grants, non-tax revenue, and expanding the tax base. And I'm just going to keep saying that at every meeting, so it just really kind of it really kind of imprints into our heads. So the first part of the meeting, we met with Bruno. They were here at the last council meeting. They gave a nice presentation on certain areas that they will be focusing on, and I think the Finance Committee wanted to dig a little bit deeper. And so we had, I think, a really nice, productive meeting. We really dug into a number of details. Some of the, and I think Michelle and Joe came very prepared. We were ready to talk about grants for water infrastructure, road safety. Michelle had the idea of thinking about, kind of greater access within the parks, and are there grants that are out there that can kind of really help. And that, a little bit about digitization, water, recycling. So can we bring money in through grants to offset some of the day-to-day appropriations that the borough spends, so that we can kind of close this gap? We spoke for probably 30 minutes to Bruno. It was a really nice conversation. We spent the last 30 minutes talking about miscellaneous revenue items, so non-tax revenue items. Our goal is to really increase revenue, but not through more taxation to the residents. So we looked at a number of different areas. I proposed a goal of $250,000 increased in non-tax revenue over the next 3 years. So we looked at a couple key areas. The first was uniform construction codes. I think Stephen Colleen being our CFO, really, I think, educated us that we can't just arbitrarily go in and increase our construction code fees. They really do have to kind of be, there has to be a requisite for it. So I went and looked at how we benchmarked to Midland Park after the meeting, and unfortunately we're pretty darn in line, if not like intentionally in line with Midland Park's construction code fees. So there's not a whole heck of a lot we can do on that line item. But I did go back, and when the Waldwick Station was built, the borough did seem to get an increase in anywhere from, it's hard to estimate because I wasn't here at that time, but it could be as high as $70,000 in additional uniform construction code fees. So, with the new redevelopment plan that's proposed for Harrison Avenue, maybe we'll see an increase there. We then kind of looked at cell phone towers. We're currently bringing in about $335,000 in rental fees for the cell phone towers, and it sounds like we might even be getting a nice increase in that this year. So we may potentially get to our the stated goal that I put up there was $416,000. If we could bump that up to $416 somehow, that will go a long way to meeting our objective. And I think we're kind of on our way there. We talked a little bit about the police training facility. I know that we're waiting to see kind of what the HVAC fees are, and I know Councilman Brennick's then going to take the baton to maybe speak with the lieutenant about how we can turn that police training facility into more of a revenue stream to kind of boost that up. And then I threw out there more liquor licenses, but that's obviously a big complication. We kind of closed the meeting with talking about our water rates, and I think we're going to meet again probably in July to further this discussion, but we are committed to kind of focusing on how can we get Bruno to really double down, bring in grants that offset these appropriations. How do we, bring these non-tax revenue items up? How do we expand the tax base? And that way we're not throwing this increased need for revenue on the residents. So that was kind of an overview of the meeting. I won't steal Steve's thunder, but we did hear about the PFAS litigation. It sounds like we may get as much as $1 million from that litigation. Remember, we had to spend $5 million to put these filtration systems in to clear the water of PFAS. It sounds like we'll get about $700,000 this year, and then over the next couple of years, smaller fees, but it'll potentially add up to $1 million. And so I think it's going to be, up to the borough to decide, or the council to decide how we want to spend that money. And then everyone knows, I thank the mayor for kind of mentioning it on Waldwick United. The insurance, we already know insurance costs are likely to go up this year for the borough as high as maybe 30%, maybe 20, who knows? I've heard a number of numbers thrown around, but we currently spend about $860,000 in insurance, so a 30% increase could be as much as $250,000 in new costs to our budget next year. This is our borough's costs to provide insurance. Obviously, the employees' rates are going to go up as well. It's a whole mess. It's really a mess. It's a shame. But it sounds like everyone dug in very quickly. The whole council, the entire borough staff, to meet with potential brokers and look for alternatives to this. So, I think it's really nice that we're ahead of schedule. We're talking about 2026's budget in July. And so I think we're putting ourselves in a nice position to tackle these early, and come January, we'll be in a position to hopefully put a nice budget together. So quite a lot, actually, for what is an otherwise summer month for finance. But yeah, that is my report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Fire and Police Protection Committee, Mr. Brennick.
Thank you, Mayor. Not much to report this month. As of the 20th of the month, we ran seven calls of various different types. And the other thing I just want to bring out is the fact that we participated in the junior police program. It was a real hoot. The kids loved it. The fire department loved it. Loved being a part of it, and look forward to doing it again next year. That's what I have, sir.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Ms. Ericola Drake.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No major updates from Wallback. They performed standby responsibilities at the Allendale Fireworks on July 4th. They also performed standby responsibilities at the Ramsey Fireworks on the 5th, and they hosted a monthly joint training with AVAC and Hohokus on heat emergencies. Thank you.
Thank you. Recreation and Health Committee, Mr. Martinello.
Just a couple of quick updates, Mr. Mayor, thank you. First, Warwick Junior Football has their annual summer camp starting next week at the high school with members of the Warwick High School, Midland Park coaching staff, and some of the varsity players there helping out with the kids. So looking forward to a great week for them. I know the Warwick Soccer Association is looking forward to their opening this fall, as well as Warwick Wrestling is starting their registration push, as well as Warwick basketball. So great things to come for the fall. Also like to congratulate the members of Warwick Baseball Association and Softball Association with all that rain yesterday for the first time probably in 20 years. They're playing on the field the next day after 5 inches of rain hit those fields. So kudos to all the men and women who put a lot of work into that place this off season, and it's a great accomplishment. Having been down there myself for many years pumping water, this was a great day for them. Very great day.
Anybody lose their shoes in the mud?
Not this time.
That's good.
I have before.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Public Works Committee, Mr. Raimondo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Only a couple of items. Want to thank the DPW for this weekend. They were busy on Saturday with the recycling. It was very well organized. Went through on Saturday around 11 o'clock, and basically it was just an organized operation. They were processing all the items. They had stations for all the other items that were not normally collected. Then on Sunday, they set up for the family, and like you said, there was 100 people there. It was nice to see how they took your guidance as to how to set up the site. And the last item is been working diligently on the break on Nordham and Bergen. They've been there since, according to all the Nixle reports, since last Thursday. I think they're done as of today. So they've been working hard on the grid to rectify the water situation. That's all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Buildings and Grounds Committee, Mrs. Moeber.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a few items with our parks. Lions Park is going to start construction. The playground items are on order. They won't be arriving until about September. We also have some pathway upgrades going to be at Veterans Park and also at Emmett. Did a check on the ambulance corps and their air conditioning unit, and their door seems to be functioning as installed. And we had some companies come out to do some preventative maintenance, give us some preventative maintenance contracts on all of our buildings, and that's still a work in progress. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Borough Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple things. I want to note that we've been talking about having a water quality meeting for the public. We finally confirmed that date, so it's going to be held on Wednesday, July 30th at 7 o'clock p.m. Now, this initial summer meeting is going to be entirely held on Teams, just like this. It will be interactive, so the public is invited to attend, engage. There will be an opportunity for question and answers afterwards. We're basically going to tee it up with myself, the water operator, Mike Latour, and our water compliance engineers from H2M. They have a whole team that they're bringing. So basically, what you can expect is we're going to give an overview of the situation, kind of what led us to the discoloration issues everyone's experiencing, kind of wrap that into, all the ongoing construction work, valve repairs, things like that, the PFAS remediation. We're going to give a status update where we're at with the hydraulic study, which has been ongoing. So we'll be able to actually present some data and images from that, their GIS model for that. And then we'll also discuss the lead service line work, our new consumer confidence report that was mailed out, just all things water. So we're going to put it all out there, give as much information as possible, and then we'll open it up for question and answer with our professionals directly. This will be recorded, then we'll post it and we'll share it afterwards on all of our platforms so people could watch it. And then in the fall, probably September, October, we're going to have an in-person meeting. It'll also be held on Teams like this, so it'll be a hybrid meeting where people could come in person and ask additional questions, and hopefully we'll have additional data to share at that point. So we're excited for that. If you have any questions ahead of that, please reach out to me. You could reach me anytime by email and let me know so we could have some things prepared for that. That goes for all the council members too. So if you have anything special you want to touch on in that meeting, please let me know ahead of time so we can make sure to have those answers for you.
And just one thing, don't come here because we're not here.
Yeah.
You'll come into a dark room.
There is no in-person option for the July meeting.
So we're not coming to this
No.
one.
We're going to be like a resident.
I'm going to be a resident.
You can
Okay.
attend via Teams,
Right.
but on camera will just be myself, Mike, and the H2M
Okay.
team.
But the next one will be everybody.
Yep, yeah, next, the one in the fall will be advertised kind of like a regular meeting.
Gotcha.
And Councilman Ritchie touched on the PFAS settlement numbers. We're excited to see those finally come in. This is just for the 3M settlement, so this is only one of them. There are others that are coming. So hopefully we see similar numbers, but we are looking at just over $1 million in total, but that's over until 2033. But the heavy payments actually come in this year, which is about $700,000 we should realize this year, which is great, but I don't want everyone to get too excited because our goal is to actually reserve that for projects related to the water system, the PFAS remediation system. So we want to earmark that for the media change out and all associated costs for that, which is significant. But good news nonetheless. And lastly, I also wanted to mention that I recently attended a workshop with PSE&G and their officials to talk about the increases that are coming. People may start seeing that in their bills now, even the June bill, the upcoming bills. So there are a lot of different programs that PSE&G has for bill payment assistance. So we actually printed a bunch out, English and Spanish downstairs. There's hard copy flyers, and tomorrow I'm going to blast this out on our website and all social media too with all the different program options. So there are some ways to help cut back. They do like to say, you don't pay for what you don't use. So the best way to keep your bills down is to try and reduce your usage. I know that's easier said than done when it's very hot like it's been. But that's all I have now, Mayor. Thank you.
Borough Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I would just like to thank the mayor for obtaining a donation from Columbia Bank for us to hold 2 concerts in Borough Park. The first one will be July 23rd, that's next Wednesday, the Christine Spiro Duo from 6:30 to 8. And then on August 6th, we have Tim Geisen, who will be there from 7 to 8:30. So residents should come and attend. As always, you bring your own chair, and it's usually a good time. So I just wanted to thank the mayor for setting that up for us and getting that donation from Columbia Bank. Item policy vote F, the football club. In your backup, they originally had requested August 1st, stating that they were doing the same thing as last year, but last year was actually August 15th. So once I reminded them of that, I did change it. So they're requesting from August 15th to November 20th for those same dates. And finally, 2025-214, authorize amendment for the auto cab license for All County Car and Limo LLC. All the documents have been presented, and it's ready to be approved, and payment was made. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Our confidential assistant and video DJ, Tatiana.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the pool continues to have a really active season despite some of the days that haven't been so great, but we've been able to find a good number of pool days, and people are enjoying it overall. We've been getting some nice feedback and compliments that people are enjoying spending their time there. On the revenue side, we were looking at, and we were able to incorporate, it's okay, some smaller increases in our pricing and our membership fees for this year. Even though the season is still ongoing and registration continues daily, we are at about 5.5% up from where we were last year, which is nice, obviously, considering that the costs associated with the pool do continue to go up, and it's something that we have to take a look at every year. So that's the update on the pool. And then we had a really great internal meeting this morning. 2026 borough calendar planning is underway. As you guys know, there's a lot of information in there. We strive every year to put as much as we can ahead of time so that residents are aware of what to expect, and it helps us in a whole variety of ways. It helps in cutting down questions that residents might have. It helps us incorporate digitally with our website. We try to cut down on some of those newsletters that we were sending quarterly, so there's a savings there on the printing and the mailing of those. So it's a large undertaking, but we have a great team in place. So really happy to have Lindsay and Melissa on board this year to help us out. Kelly, Steve, myself, and the department heads. So we're excited to get that underway, and if you have any questions or any thoughts on the calendar, please let us know. That's it.
Yeah, we got to talk about the cover. I was told that I have to deal with you by heart.
Okay.
That's not true. I already designed it.
See, that's why I was told to talk to you.
We'll let you know what you agreed upon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Rob Devaney in for our attorney, Craig Bazan.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There is no legal update this evening.
And we're not going to close?
No.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Consent resolutions and resolutions of the governing body.
Be resolved that the following resolutions herewith listed by consent, having been considered by the governing body of the Borough of Waldeck, are hereby passed and approved. 2025-203, approval of consent. 2025-204, approval of minutes, regular meeting June 24th. Policy votes, Richard McDonald requests to use Pavilion A on July 27th from 10 to 6 for a family party with alcoholic beverages being served. B, Alexandria Scarpula requests to use Pavilion A August 3rd from 10 to 5 for a birthday party with alcoholic beverages being served. C, Edgell Personal Care requests to use Pavilion A on August 6th from 11 to 3 for a corporate barbecue with alcoholic beverages being served. D, Max Policastro requests to use Pavilion A on August 9th from 10:30 to 5 for a picnic with alcoholic beverages being served. E, Alyssa Fusco requests to use Pavilion B on September 1st from 10 to 6 for a birthday party with alcoholic beverages being served. And F, Waldwick Football Club requests to use Veterans Park Field from August 15th to November 20th on the dates for the days and times listed. 2005-205, I'm going to say this, award a fair and open contract for the police firing range and HVAC replacement project. 2025-206, Award fair and open professional service contract for redevelopment council in an amount not to exceed $25,000. 2025-207, approval of Chapter 159 for the 2024-2025 County of Bergen CDBG handicap accessible ramps. 2025-208, award a non-fair and open professional service contract to Boswell Engineering for the engineering services for the 2024 CDBG ADA curb ramp upgrade in the amount of $21,500. 2025-209, award a fair and open contract to Ben Schaefer Recreation for the Lions Memorial Playground equipment in an amount of $144,301.62. 2025-210, authorizing the Borough of Walden's qualified purchasing agent to issue contracts between 17.5 and the amended bid threshold of $53,000. 2025-211, accept donation from Columbia Bank. 2025-212, authorize a contract with the Christine Spiro Duo in the amount of $550. 2025-213, authorize contract with Tim Geis in the amount of $500. 2025-214, authorize amendment to the AutoCab license, All County Car and Limo LLC. 2025-215, authorized refund of pavilion permit fee to RUG. 2025-216, appointment of full-time communication officer Ryan Dunn. 2025-217, cancellation of refund of taxes, Block 163.03, Lot 26. 2025-218, cancellation and refund of taxes, Block 11, Lot 34. 2025-219, cancellation and refund of taxes, Block 157, Lot 3. 2025-220, authorize refund senior tax deduction over payments various, and 2025-221, payment of vouchers.
You don't want to repeat that, do you?
Only if you want me to.
Do I have a motion and a second to accept? Motion by Mark, second by Joe. Anyone have a question? Yes.
Can we, Mr. Mayor, can we pull 205 and 206 for discussion?
I'm sorry?
Can we please pull 205 and 206 for discussion?
Sure.
Thank you.
Anybody, anything else?
Anyone else with this? Okay, we're going to pull them too. We're going to vote on the rest. Clerk, take the roll.
Mr. Brennick?
Yes.
Ms. Earl Drake?
Yes.
Mr. Martinello?
Yes.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mrs. Weber?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to 205.
205.
Yeah, sorry, my question on 205 is relatively easy. I guess just a little bit of background, right? So the prices are overrunning. Do we have a sense for when we're going to know how much it'll actually cost?
So I had a meeting with our engineers this morning on this. We're in talks with the contractor. We're doing some additional follow-up and calling some additional references just to make sure everything's set. The low bid did come in over our budget, so once we're comfortable with everything, with how the bids came in, they're actually still being reviewed by the attorney to make sure there's no fatal flaws or anything that would knock somebody out. If for some reason the low bid was, rejected for any reason, the next highest bidder is about $200,000 over that low bid. So we would definitely have an issue with the budget there. So we'd more than likely have to reject all bids and kind of start over on this.
We have to literally start the whole process over.
Not necessarily, but we'd have to go back and see what we could drop or put it on hold until the budget became available. So we're exploring all those options right now. We feel pretty confident that, the low bid is a responsible bidder. So we just really need to work out, the additional budgeting concerns.
Yeah, because we've been pushing this one for a while, so I'd really like to see it get done.
Unfortunately, the bids that came in were pretty shocking for the most part. They were very, very high. Even the engineers said they were much higher than we've been seeing.
Okay.
So it's just kind of what we have to deal with right now, unfortunately.
So it's a kind of an open-ended resolution, and when we get
So,
the price,
I would
we'll
actually
know.
recommend that. We're gonna pull that one completely off, until we have more info and we're actually ready to make an award.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that one's done 2006, Mike.
Okay, yeah, and just, I think for 2025-206 for redevelopment attorney, I think it would just be good to understand from everyone kind of how we got to the point where we feel we need a redevelopment attorney, kind of what are we looking for in a redevelopment attorney, and then how does that align with who was selected? Because, I'll turn it over to whoever, how we got here.
Yeah, I'll give a little background on to how we got to this point from my perspective, and then I'd welcome any other comments. But as we've gone through the redevelopment process, we realized, we need some additional guidance, and I think we really need someone to focus solely on redevelopment for us. Currently, we're using our borough attorney, who's acting in multiple roles in that regard. So this really just separates out now, the redevelopment portion from his regular duties as borough attorney. So we can have someone solely focused on redevelopment going forward. We obviously know kind of what's in front of us now and anticipating more in the future. So I think it's probably a good idea, in my opinion, to have someone focused on that for us that could represent us well going forward. So part of that process was, we decided to issue an RFQ, go through the fair and open process, put it out, allow for submissions. We did receive 5 submissions through the RFQ process that were reviewed internally by myself, Kelly, Tatiana, and Colleen, our CFO. So we went through individually, separate from each other, kind of made our own notes and rankings, got together on that, and came up with our recommendation tonight for that firm. The things we looked at were, mainly municipal experience. What other towns have they been working in, the size of those municipalities. So at least 2 or 3 of our submissions were pretty, good firms, but they're focused on large cities. So they're doing major redevelopment projects in urban centers. So a little bit different. The firm that, we've made a recommendation for has more of a wide array in their portfolio, kind of small municipalities, smaller than Waldwick, all the way up to the larger cities, all over the state. So we feel pretty comfortable that they have a lot of experience with different sized municipalities, downtown rehabilitation work, in addition to redevelopment, things like that.
Yeah, so I guess I just put this to the council. When Katie and I were elected in 2021, we brought in a redevelopment attorney, someone who we thought needed additional experience. And what we found after the first year was we still just kept going back to Craig for everything. He's someone who knows the borough. I think he's been working with us for 20 years. He just knows the ins and the outs, and I think we're all comfortable with him. And so at the end of that year, we decided we really don't need a redevelopment attorney. We're just going to work with Craig. And so I'm envisioning the same thing happening here, and I'm wondering if we're just not complicating things by bringing in someone who really has no historical, no background on kind of how we got to where we are, and we're going to have to get them up to speed. And I think it complicates things, and I'm just wondering how everybody else feels about, why shouldn't we just continue to use Craig?
Yeah, just my 2 cents is, when we're in closed session, Craig is always jumping in, able to answer all of our questions, and he has the experience that Mike mentioned. I feel very comfortable with Craig, so I kind of see that it might be a cog in the wheel.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yes?
My feeling on that, Mike, is that we have an opportunity here to get a law firm that does nothing else. They're experts in this field alone. Will it take time to ramp them up? Yeah, it will. Would it be in our best interest to do it, looking forward to the future? Maybe it can calm things down a bit, if you will. I think that it's a great idea to do, and I think that we ought to take advantage of this.
Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I think one of the things that we need to look at is, as you see more and more in the paper, there's a lot of litigation with regards to redevelopment. So I think we need someone that's going to be able to focus on that and have the expertise in the small size municipalities as well as the larger size. I think we put ourselves at risk with potential redevelopments if we don't do them correctly. As you know, you see Hackensack is rescinding all their proposals in some cases. I think that's something that we need to work hard with, especially if we get sequestered with things like pilot, which puts the residents at risk of losing or paying more in taxes for items like the Board of Ed because money is given away. So I think we need to really have someone that's focused on that and has the expertise with some of these larger towns as well as these smaller towns. Because actually, when you look at the list, none of the towns that were on their list are being challenged. Some of the other towns seem to have issues. So I think we need to manage that within our borough to do the best for the residents and not have, any interaction that's being done privately or behind the scenes, so that these things are done with focus not to meet someone's agenda.
Are there specific concerns?
Excuse me?
Are there specific concerns?
Specific concerns with?
With using with complicating things by bringing in we're bringing in another attorney. I'm just wondering what the specific concerns are so we can ensure that the attorney that we're about to appoint meets those concerns.
I think we need to focus, I need to have someone to focus on redevelopment. Redevelopment is new. Redevelopment is challenge. Every town that's got involved in it either goes back and doesn't like what happened. So I think it's not something that we're experts in. You don't go to a general practitioner to get brain surgery. So I think that's basically where we need to be. He can focus on the municipal work, and then we have someone that focuses on the redevelopment. That's just my opinion. You go to a specialist.
Anyone else? I need a motion and a second to
I
accept.
have
I'm
another
sorry.
question. I understand that, I appreciate all of the work that was put in reviewing all of the RFQs, and I trust your judgment, but I think that it would be amiss to not send those RFQs around to every member of the council and allow us the opportunity to look at them and ask questions as we're awarding a contract. I don't feel comfortable voting on a contract that I haven't seen the candidates.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think if this is a big deal, we should all have a chance to review it unless there's a reason for us to not. Because we're only seeing the one firm.
Well, you saw it. What did you think? So that we could just get some idea.
Steve touched on the points, but, that's up to the council how you guys want to proceed or move forward. But yes, we had a committee that reviewed individually. Steve and I did the opening of the bids. And so our recommendation came up.
All right, why don't we do this? Does everybody want to just table this? Or do you want to just go ahead with the project? Go ahead with this resolution. Okay?
I would like to table it and do a more in-depth analysis.
Okay, you want to go around the room? Yes, ma'am?
This is for a year, right? This is just for a year?
Yeah.
The way we put it out was for the
For 1
remainder
year, right?
of the year, yeah.
Right.
So you got one that says that we want to table it. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't have an issue with if it's just for a year, and it states in here that the redevelopment attorney would be working with Craig, too.
Yeah, correct. I mean,
Yeah.
they would be
work
working hand
together.
in hand.
So you're going not to table?
Yeah, I don't have an issue
Okay.
with it.
Mike?
No, I think it would be good for us to see all of the
Okay.
CVs.
You got two table, one no. Go ahead. Joe?
I'd like to see all of the RFQ responses. So I think we have to table it.
Okay. Andy?
Oh, I'd like to move forward on it. I trust the judgment of
Okay.
the borough administrator.
I like to move forward. I trust the judgment of the team that went through the process. They're the experts. I'd rather rely on those.
So
I'm the one that told the administrator to look into this, so I will say that we are moving ahead with it.
then we need a motion.
Now, a motion to accept this as read. Do we have a motion from Mark, second by Michelle. Clerk, take the roll.
Mr. Brennick?
Yes.
Ms. Sarah Goldtree?
No.
Mr. Martinello?
No.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
No.
Mrs. Weber?
Yes.
Mayor Giordano?
Yes. We have an introduction of ordinance.
We do.
Would clerk please read ordinance number 2025-17?
Ordinance number 2025-17, an ordinance to amend Chapter 48 fees, Section 1-10.3, escrow for off-duty and outside employment by police officers, Item 4, to increase the administrative fee to 8%.
A motion and a second is in order to move and pass this ordinance on first reading and that it be advertised in local legal newspapers required by law, setting a public hearing 2 weeks from tonight's meeting or at 7:30 p.m. or soon thereafter as the matter may be reached. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion by Andy, second by Joe on the question. What this is these are the two officers that will be placed in the school system. There were 9 people that were interviewed. They picked 2. The people that were in charge of doing the picking was Lieutenant Seifert, our administrator, Lieutenant Passaretti, and Sergeant Moore. They interviewed every one of them, and 2 are the ones they are going to have into the schools. And from what I understand, they're Waldeck residents, and their children do live in the school. I mean, they do attend the school, so these officers are not going to be strangers to anyone, really. Anyone else?
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, just to clarify, this ordinance is not focused on the SLEOs. Everything you just said is accurate, but this one is just an administrative
Oh, okay, I'm
update
sorry.
to our ordinance, just changing
Okay.
the administrative fee that we have currently listed. But everything you did say was accurate, and we were going to report on it.
Got it half right.
Yeah.
Clerk, take the roll.
Mr. Brennick?
Yes.
Ms. Sarah Drake?
Yes.
Mr. Martinello?
Yes.
Mr. Raimondo?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mrs. Weber?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody from the council have any unfinished business?
Yes, I do. Thank you. And sorry for hogging the microphone this entire meeting. So last meeting, I brought up the gas station. I looked into the ordinance. I sent Steve what I thought. I was reading it. The ordinance looks like it reads only 6 vehicles, but what do you think? There's more than 6 vehicles sitting out there, kind of.
Yeah, so we did look into the ordinance, and you're reading the ordinance right, but we're actually working on digging up the resolution that approved their usage. So we have been looking into that. Our zoning official did go over there, has a good relationship with them, has talked to them about it, and, asked them if there's any that should not belong to try and, just
Yeah.
keep things cleaned up.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hurt on a business, but residents are bringing it up when I see them from time to time.
Yeah, I would say I have been working with the board secretary. We had some vacations in the mix, so hopefully, at least in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a better direction.
Okay.
And I went there also that Thursday and told him about the concerns, and he said he's going to try to look into it, and then you went and you had Joe go there, so I think he understands where we're coming from.
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question?
Sure.
With regards to that, are we just singling out just that particular vendor, or are we also going to go to the other one that has more than 6 on his lot on the corner next to Natal's and has his other cars in the Rite Aid parking lot?
I think it's a worthy.
I mean, to be consistent, if we're going to go after one, you got to go after everybody.
You have to go after the other guy, too. We have to go after the gentleman that has the empty lot that has cars on there,
Oh, okay.
if that's what you
To
want
be
to do.
consistent, I mean, I think, to be fair, we can't just single out one individual. You either need to be, it's an all for all or not.
Yeah.
It can't be selective.
I agree. We have been in conversations with some of the other property owners that have similar circumstances. I know one has worked and cleaned up a lot, but there's some more work to do.
Anyone else? More?
I figure why not, since the lieutenant's here. Couple months ago, we brought up expanding the traffic study. We talked about budget. Tonight, we'll be budgeting for 2026, probably starting to really kind of line things up in the next 3 or 4 months. I'm just going to throw it out there one more time. Is there an opportunity to go back to that company that we previously worked with and ask them to budget so that we can ask them to do an expanded traffic safety study to go beyond just, I hate calling it the grid, but this is what my wife says it's called, the grid. Bergen Ave, Waldwick Ave, Manhattan Ave, that whole area. I think that, at least where I live across the street, we would greatly benefit from kind of some recommendations on that side as well. And then these things take a year, right, to kind of do, and then we can work with the police department about what is appropriate implementation. But as far as our responsibility of budgeting for these things, I just want to keep kind of pressing into it.
Didn't we just hire a police officer to just take care of safety?
Not yet, that's we approved for additional hires, yes, and that would be the plan, is to create a traffic safety division within the police department. With regards to the study, we don't have it in this year's budget, as you all know, but yeah, if that's something we want to incorporate, we could add that in the discussions.
Well, would you mind giving us your opinion of anything? I know your opinion put on the spot, but
That's all right. I'm not prepared for that. I accept any study that we're participating in. However, I would want to consult the chief of police first.
Absolutely.
Before
Yeah.
to get his.
You are the safety people in our town.
As far as our focus on the grid, and I do call it the grid.
All right.
I've been here a long time.
All right.
It is the grid.
All right.
It always will be the grid. We are pretty focused on working on kind of our projects as they come in. We have a couple things that we've been working with Mr. Neal on that we've ordered, some traffic calming measures that are coming in. So we're kind of focused on a few things right in front of us right now. I think the scope of the study, again, I'm not speaking for the chief of police, I would have to speak with him first, but I'm not sure he would be ready to tackle that right now, as far as from our point of view. Was that helpful?
Very good.
A little bit
Well-
from you, sorry.
Well, maybe if they're inundated with other projects, it would be beneficial to bring on a firm to look at it, similar to the redevelopment attorney that everyone just supported.
We're focused on a lot of traffic concerns right now, so any more that would be brought to us that was, I mean, obviously would be helpful for us to analyze something. We are in the process of collecting a lot of data, which has never really been tackled by our agency before. We're new to that aspect of it, so we have a bunch of things we're working on already, and I think, of course, there's always time for more, but I think a scope, a bigger study outside of where we're looking right now, I'm not sure. Again, I would have to speak to the chief.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we're ready to tackle that.
All right.
Hope that was helpful. I wasn't ready for that, I apologize.
It's okay. I didn't do it intentionally.
Anyone else? New business, anybody? Nope? Public's comments.
I have one.
Wait,
new-
we're not doing public yet. Mr. Ritchie has one more to go.
Sorry, yeah, one more thing. So I sent an email around to the mayor and council. I'm very much an advocate, especially on evenings like tonight where we talk a lot about numbers, about presenting slides. I think for those who are here in attendance as well as for those who are logging into Teams. So, I'd be very grateful if I could submit slides to whomever before any meeting, have them, I can print them out so that people who are here have them, but at least for those who are online, if we can, flip through them, I think it would be really helpful. And so I'm just throwing that out to everybody for consent.
What are
Yeah,
these
why
slides
not?
going to do?
What?
What are the slides going to be on your report?
Yes, on the report, absolutely. Or anything that gets brought up in new business or old business, anything to help facilitate the discussion.
But you wouldn't know new or old business.
Excuse me?
You wouldn't know the new or old business until that night.
Well, if I was bringing it up.
Oh, you're bringing it up?
Yeah.
So, and you would let the council know ahead of time what you're
I
doing?
would submit them as far in advance as anyone would like to
And
see.
you'll stay on script?
Well, there'll be no script written,
Well,
but the slides will
Live.
be, yeah. The slides will not change. Once I send them in, they will not change.
What does everybody want to do?
I'd be willing to try it. If it's beneficial, so be it. If it isn't, it isn't.
And how long do you need of time to get everything? Ms. Kelly?
But that's just me.
I mean, the packet's going on Friday, so it
You need
would be
like-
helpful to have it be included with that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
What was that?
That's what I'm saying.
So you need it before Friday?
No,
But
I
the
would
Friday
say,
before.
don't you think if it should go out with the packet?
Fine.
I don't know.
absolutely.
I think
That
that'd
works.
be helpful.
I'm just the clerk. It's up
Whatever
to you guys.
Yeah.
Whatever you tell me, Kelly.
It's up to you guys, whatever you want to do.
How about Wednesday? Is that good? Or it's too short?
Wednesday's fine.
Good, okay. Anybody else idea?
If I could just add one
Sure.
thing, Mr. Mayor. If we go that route, that's great. Yeah, if you have it, just let us know so we could prepare, because we will have to coordinate with the team's presentation, queue that up, make sure everyone's seen it, and then hard copies, if you have a presentation, submit it to us so we could print it out, have hard copies available for everyone attending in person.
Why don't we say Tuesday before, 1 week, right? 7:30 PM. If you don't have them into you, then they cannot be presented. And you will, present the digital, but whoever is presenting them is responsible for bringing in the hard copy until we figure out how to move this to a place where everyone can see it.
So if anybody else wants to do that, they just make sure that they give everything to Kelly. Okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, the public. Anyone from the public? Now you may come up, sir. I'm sorry.
My name is Ron Sower, 19 Charles Road, Waltham, New Jersey.
I didn't hear it.
You don't have to give us your address. Just your
didn't hear
name,
it.
your name again, please?
Sorry.
Charles Terrace and Richard Drive. There's no sidewalks. cars are coming up 40 miles an hour. Officer Seifert put radar there a couple of times. As soon as the car leaves, they're back to doing the same thing. We've had a lot of young people move into the neighborhood, procreating, having a lot of kids, and there was an instance where a young kid was driving down. He missed a woman in a baby carriage by this much. We're asking to have speed bumps put in, being that they're going to pave those 2 streets, so that we can slow the traffic down, unless you have another option.
Can you do a speed bump program?
We'd have to really look into that. Speed bumps, speed tables, there's a lot of different options. I will say, a lot of times when they get installed in neighborhoods like that, it sounds good in theory, and then when they get installed, nobody wants it in front of their house because they do generate noise, and it is an issue for traffic. But I can say we'll look into it.
Then what I would say is figure out something, because a kid or somebody, there's a lot of young kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we can definitely dive in and pull together some
Mr.
items for you.
Lieutenant Stevens writing it down already, so him and the chief will talk, and then he'll get back to Mr. Neal.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Not only the children, because we don't have any sidewalks.
Right.
There's an awful lot of traffic with people walking their dogs. And people come around the corner speeding, that they always hit our door. I mean, we keep telling them, what are you going to do about this? People should not be speeding. Shouldn't be 25 miles an hour going through a residential area. I think it should be 15 or 10 miles an hour. There's just too many things that are going on in that neighborhood. Lately, with the kids, a lot of kids there, a lot more people are walking there. A lot of people started coming there during COVID because there was no sidewalk. They could just walk around and have a good time. They still keep coming. So something is going to happen. Somebody's going to either get hit, a dog's going to get run over, or something's going to happen. And who's going to be responsible? You.
We will have our administrator look into this. Thank you.
Just so we're very frustrated.
Anyone else?
Anybody online?
Wait,
Yes.
one more person.
I'm sorry.
We're going to do the people in the audience, then we'll do the people online.
Jeff Rogoff. I wanted to start by saying how pleased I was to hear about that idea with Traphagen School. My kids, been a few years since they've been in Traphagen School, but I certainly have memories of trying to navigate that and trying to handle that on both up and back. So that sounds like it'll be a definite improvement. I do have a question though, how it's going to work with cars coming off Route 17. Are they going to be allowed to go down, or are they going to be asked to exit at Ridge? I was just curious how that's going to work, and I also wanted to know if people coming out of Traphagen School will have the option to go onto Ridge, or whether they're going to be put onto Route 17.
Are you prepared for this question?
The signs will be posted at Ridge and Summit. So you'll be able to exit the driveway of Traphagen, and then when you get to Summit and Ridge, there will be a barricade there with the do not enter. Do not enter, do not enter, you'll have to make a left. Exiting off Route 17, totally fine, exit on Summit. When you get up to Summit and Ridge, you'll have to make the left. If it's between 7 and 4, Monday through Friday during school and session.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, so we're going to have a permanent, a movable barricade every morning. Our crossing guard at 0700 will drag out, and that'll block the one side of the road, just in case somebody doesn't recognize it. There'll be no left turn signs posted on Ridge and Summit with the time restrictions. We have 14 signs that we bought for that area, so we're going to sign it a lot.
So I assume if an emergency vehicle needed to get through quickly, that could be just moved pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Don't work it through. Don't worry.
Find a way.
Since the topic of traffic came up, I wasn't planning on talking about it, but I'm just going to make another pitch again for any additional monitoring that can be done on East Prospect. Now that I have 2 kids that are driving, I've become even more aware of speeds on that road and just how difficult and challenging it can be, particularly if you have to back out onto East Prospect, and it's just I certainly have seen a police presence there, which is awesome, but, I certainly, just dealing with the people who feel like 45 is an appropriate speed on that road is a continual frustration. Lastly, I was just wondering if, certainly that sounds like awesome news about the settlement, about the PFAS. I was just wondering, I'm slightly familiar with it. I was just wondering if you could give just a little bit more background about how we got to the point where we're getting was it $1 million back, and what the timeline looks like for that?
Yeah, I might even ask for some attorney involvement, but yeah, I think the settlement started up around 2 or 3 years ago. So, the borough at that time, that was actually before my time here, but signed on to be, part of the class action suits against all these different chemical companies, for the PFAS. So joined in early, it's been ongoing for a while. Like I said, there's other companies that are involved in all different settlements and tied up in the courts. 3M is just the first one to actually settle. I think they wanted to just get in front of it and get out of the way, but there's others like DuPont, BASF, those are other ones that are also going to be coming down the line.
How many are currently pending?
At least 5 or 6, yeah, 5, yeah.
And do we know what the estimated timeline is of either like getting a court hearing on any of those, or hopefully resolutions, successful resolutions like this one?
No, see, each case kind of goes along individually, and like the BA said, this was the first defendant that reached a settlement, so they likely just wanted to kind of get out ahead of it. The other timelines, each case has its own facts, has its own, procedure, has its own dates set by the court. Unfortunately, these large class action lawsuits can, drag on for years and years and years.
So nothing else has a trial date or anything, right?
No, no.
And last question is, what's the payment schedule looking like again? I thought I heard like a lump sum of $700,000 or something like that.
Yep, give me 1 minute. So, yeah, the first payment we haven't received yet is about $200,000. The next payment is about $485,000. We should receive that in third quarter of this year, so coming up hopefully soon, we probably get both. So by the end of the year, about $700,000. Then it drops down significantly. So in second quarter 26, it's about $68,000. Second quarter 27, $50,000, and kind of so on through 2033.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Bianca Morosi, I just had a quick question on the redevelopment attorney. What's the scope of the business that's going to be given, or what's the expectation for that law firm?
If you want to jump in too, but.
Yeah, so the scope of services for the redevelopment attorney is just, it's to my understanding, it's limited to kind of the advice and the work that needs to be done on the ground, limited to the redevelopment projects that are ongoing within the borough right now. So it's just going to be ongoing redevelopment projects that are going on right now.
Okay, so just from an advice standpoint, not
Advice
necessarily.
and kind of permitting, things of that nature. Their whole mission in life with respect to Waldwick is going to be just these redevelopment projects.
Okay, but not finding new development projects or anything like that
No.
and bring them to the
No.
table?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? If not, Tatiana, is anybody on?
We have,
Yes.
yep, one person with their virtual hand raised, so let me let them in.
Good afternoon, good evening, Mayor and Council. This is Joanne Mitchell. Thank you for the update on the water meeting on July 30th. For the last several weeks, we have been promised an update from the hydraulic engineers on their findings. And the last update currently on the website is April 8th. May we please have their findings in writing before the meeting of July 30th?
Yes, so we're having a meeting this Friday to kind of plan out and fine tune the presentation for the 30th. So yeah, after that, we'll kind of see where things are at and what we could get posted ahead of that meeting for you.
With all due respect, Mr. Neal, I do believe that was the same thing we discussed at the last council meeting.
Yep, and the engineers are still working on it and, finalizing everything. They did have a lot of follow-up questions on some of the detailed, components of our system before they put everything together. So, as I stated, we don't want to put out, half the information. We want to make sure we give you the full picture and all the data that we can.
I appreciate that thoroughness and the level of necessity that the situation requires, but the water is still coming out of my tap, a lovely shade of caramel, and it has a strong metallic component. So I would very much like to see their preliminary findings before July 30th, because it would better allow people to ask questions about the situation.
And that would be the plan, to put out those findings to date so far, along, with a simple agenda for that meeting.
So we can reasonably expect that by Friday at the end of close of business?
No, I would not anticipate that to be ready by this Friday, close of business, but the following week.
The following week. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you. Thank you very much. And is there anybody else?
That's it online.
Okay. If not, do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Katie, second by Andy. All those in favor? All opposed? Have a nice week.